channel. I hope you're doing well. So for today's video, I'm back with another vlog. I haven't done a vlog on here in months, so I thought I would sit down and for this week I'll film a little mood reading vlog. It's currently the last day of March when I'm filming this, so we are going to be in April, and I haven't read a lot this month. I've read like 7 books. Hopefully we'll read one more before the end of the month today. That's kind of the plan, because I'm currently in the middle of 2 books right now. So I'm basically reading Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is a book that I picked up last year, and I was just kind of like in the mood for a little rom-com type of book, and I've read quite a few books by Lynn Painter. Better Than Movies is one of my favourite rom-com books ever. Probably is my favourite. Like, that just gives like such good vibes. So I decided to pick this one up. This one is her new adult instead of her like YA books. I am currently, how many pages am I into this? I am near enough 100 pages into this book, and I'm having a fun time with it. So I'm reading this one. It follows Sophie and Max. This book starts with Sophie getting married. Her friend hires Max to like object the wedding, and Sophie knows about this. Like, she wants it to happen because she finds out that her fiance, soon to be husband, is cheating on her. It kind of ends up a situation where Sophie ends up objecting Max's friend's wedding as well. So Max's friend hires Sophie. It's kind of like forced proximity situation, and the job is to just object people's weddings. So it's quite like a fun concept. I'm enjoying this one so far. So this is my current like physical read, and then I am actually currently listening to a book. So I'm listening to Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Now this is one that I heard so many people talk about last year when it released. Now that we're officially in spring, I thought it's like the perfect time to listen to this one. This one is a romance, but it's a little bit more than romance. It kind of gives like Emily Henry type of vibe. So this one follows Ali. A couple of years ago, her mum passed away, and she was always really close with her mum. And then a year after her mum passes away, her husband just says to her like, I want a divorce. She's kind of struggling with losing her mum and trying to be a single parent to her kids, as well as trying to like find herself, and she feels like she's lost herself. She ends up meeting Ethan, who is actually her best friend's brother, and he is kind of more like free-spirited, and he's kind of like quite like a fun guy, and he kind of helps Ali get out of her comfort zone and kind of focus on herself more. But it's not like a guy saving the girl, which I like. It's actually Ali figuring things out herself, finding out what she wants, and having this romance as well. So I'm enjoying this one. I'm listening to it on audio, and I always feel like when you're listening to a book on audio, you don't connect to it as much as like if you were reading it physically. But I'm enjoying that one. So I only have about like 50 minutes left of that, so I'm going to read some of this, hopefully trying to finish listening to Summer Romance. I might listen to that while doing some work, and then I'll update you guys later on to give you a bit of an update. Hi guys, so I thought I'd give you an update. It is several hours later. I did go ahead and finish listening to Summer Romance. I think I'm going to decide on like a 3.5 star for it. I feel like if I read it as like a physical book, I think it might have been like 3.75, maybe 4 star. And then with Happily Never After, I literally sat outside, as you would have seen, and read like 80 pages of this book, because this week is going to be the warmest week of the year so far here in the UK. And it was like 16 degrees outside, which is not even like that warm, but it was actually like really nice. It wasn't cold at all, and it was nice to get some vitamin D. So I feel like all this week I'm going to sit outside and read and get as much vitamin D as possible. Did I say what this book was about when I did my intro for this vlog? I think I did. But I just love a good rom-com book sometimes. Like, I don't read them a lot because I think sometimes they get a bit cheesy, but I haven't found this one cheesy, probably because the characters are a lot older. Sometimes actually characters can be like 40 and they're still cheesy in books. But I like the characters. I feel like I wish this book was more of a slow burn, because at this point I feel like the characters could be together, but I'm getting through it quickly. I'm just over halfway through, so I might read more of it tonight, I'm not sure, but I am enjoying this one, and I'm glad that I finished listening to Summer Romance, because that's another book to take off for the month. Hi guys, so it's actually currently Wednesday when I'm filming this clip. I didn't vlog anything yesterday. I honestly didn't read enough to vlog. I think I read like 40 pages, but I have finished Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I finished it literally about like 10 minutes ago, and I've literally just sat outside, read the last like 90 pages of it. I think I'm going to settle on a 3.5 for this book. I did have a really fun time with it. I always feel like reading rom-com-y style books, they're never really like A high rating for me, usually, a couple of them like better than movies, is like I gave it a 5 star when reading it for the first time, and then last year I did actually reread it and I think I gave it like a 4.25, so it did kind of drop the rating, but I've never reread a book and it's been the same rating anyway. I liked the plot of this book. I thought it was really fun. I liked the characters. I thought the romance was fun to read. I really liked the side characters as well, so a 3.5, finished that one, and I feel like people need to talk about this book more. Like, I've literally seen no one talk about it, and it was a really fun, quick and easy read, so that is that done. I'm glad I finished it because I was supposed to finish it yesterday and I didn't. I don't know what book I'm going to physically pick up next. I was going to pick up Abby Jimenez's new book, but then I don't have the physical copy of it and I'm not paying it £4 for Kindle, so I might pick up the physical copy. I might like order it and get it in like the next day or so. I'm thinking about now downloading Sunrise and the Reaping on Audible and listening to that, because I did actually start this book the other week and I read like the first 3 chapters. I feel like I want to continue listening to it and kind of switch between reading it and listening to it. So because I now have a free credit from today, I think I'm going to download that and start listening to it. I won't update anything else for today because I don't think I'm going to read anymore, or if I read a bit it won't be enough to do an update. But as I said, I'm just glad that I finished Happily Never After, and then when I update you guys tomorrow I'll give you an update if I've listened to any of this and the book that I've decided to pick up next. Hi guys, it is currently the next day. It is Thursday. It's quite a little bit later on Thursday because I wanted to read quite a bit of Sunrise and the Reaping before I did an update, but I'm currently literally like halfway through this book, like bang on halfway through. I don't know if I've like mentioned this, but this is Haymitch's story, who, if you've watched The Hunger Games or read The Hunger Games, then he is Katniss's and Peter's mentor, and this is, I said, his story when he was in the Hunger Games. I'm getting through it so quickly, like I've not been bored once while reading it. I feel like there's always something happening. Right now they haven't even got into the Hunger Games yet. It's like the before, where you have to do like all the interviews and all of that they have in the Hunger Games. But I'm really liking the side characters as well, and we know from this book, it's not spoiler or anything because you know from Hunger Games, that Haymitch wins. Like, you know he does win. These side characters who are also tributes, who you're like liking as characters, like, we know what's going to happen to them. I've seen so many people cry when reading this book, so I'm kind of scared. I haven't cried yet, so we will see. I'm kind of worried how this book is going to end because, again, from the Hunger Games, we know that Haymitch, like, he's an alcoholic and he, like, hates the world. So I'm like, what's going to happen in his life for him to hate the world? I'm going to try to finish it tomorrow. I think I'm going to read a bit more tonight. I might give an update tonight. Maybe not, depends how much I read. And I'm also like listening to it on Audible, so I'm kind of listening to it and reading it at the same time. So that's why I definitely think I'm going to finish it tomorrow. But so far, I'm really, really loving it, get through it quickly, and I think this book is definitely worth the hype. I've seen so many people love it, so yeah, I think it is worth the hype. Hi guys, currently the next day, it is Friday, and I thought I'd give you an update of Sunrise and the Reaping. I have read about like just over 100 pages today, so I've got around 70 pages left. I'm going to try to finish this book tonight. I need to have a bath and do my hair and stuff, so while I'm doing my skincare, I'm going to listen to the audiobook and then, I said, hopefully finish it tonight because I said I've literally got like 70 pages left, so it's only going to take me like an hour to finish it. I'm still really enjoying this book. I feel like it's going to be like a solid 4 stars. That's kind of what it feels like to me at the moment. You get insight into so many different characters. I still don't know what's going to happen at the end. I've got a couple of theories, so we'll see if those happen. And as I said in the last clip, it's just like amazing being back in this universe with these characters. Like, it kind of feels like homely, so I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm glad that I put this book down a few weeks ago and like picked it back up the other day, because now, I said, I'm just getting through it super quickly. So that's an update. It's kind of hard to talk about this book without giving spoilers. I think I'm going to give my final update when I finish this book and give you my final thoughts, and we'll see how it ends. So yeah, that's the update for right now. Hi guys, it's currently Sunday and I didn't give you a final update of Sunrise and the Reaping and let you guys know my thoughts. You would have seen yesterday I did start a new book as well, so I'll talk about that one as well. But I did finish Sunrise and the Reaping Friday night and I think I'm going to settle on a 4 star. I kind of knew from quite early on that this was going to be a 4 star, and even though I feel like the ending was quite rushed, like things kind of went from 1 to 100 so quickly, I kind of would have liked to see a bit more about Haymitch when he came back after winning the Hunger Games and what his life was like afterwards, especially when you know what happened to him and people around him when he came back without giving spoilers. So I wish I got more of that, but I still loved it. I want to give Haymitch a hug. Like, everything kind of makes sense now from the Hunger Games. After reading this book and looking at TikToks, everyone's connected in this universe. Like, there's so many people in this book that's connected to people in the Hunger Games universe. Yeah, the writing of this is amazing. Like, one thing I'd say is Suzanne Collins did well with the writing, and there's still some questions that you have after finishing this book that we'll probably never get answers to, but that's kind of for our interpretations and kind of for us to get answers to things. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. And then yesterday I did actually go ahead and start Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. You would have seen me doing a couple of little clips for this book, but I'm currently 90 pages into this book. Now, one thing I would say about this is it's floppy. I love floppy books. Like, I absolutely love them. But this is the first book in the Spiral Falls series. Catherine Cowles writes a lot of like romantic suspense, small town romances. This one follows Rose and Anson. So Rose's family was killed in this house fire when she was 13. She was then adopted by her best friend's family, and her best friend's mum fostered and has adopted a lot of kids, and I'm guessing that every single book in the series follows a different sibling in this family. That's kind of what it seems like it will be. A decade later, she kind of decides that she wants to refurbish the house that she used to live in. So the guy who ends up refurbishing the house is actually one of her brother's best friends, who has a traumatic past himself, and he is very like closed off from people around him. He doesn't let anyone in. The only person who he kind of lets in to some extent is Shep, Rose's brother. So it kind of goes from there. It's false proximity, grumpy sunshine, brother's best friend, and I'm getting through this book really quickly. I've just seen people say that these books are very much like palette cleanser books. I think there's 4 books in the series out right now, so I might go ahead and pick up the rest of the books. I feel like I've read quite a bit this week. I finished Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I read Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm getting through a 3rd book, so this week has been quite a productive reading week. Hi guys, I thought I'd just sit down and do a little roundup of all the books I've read this week. I need to actually get them. I just sat down to film this video and then I've just realised I haven't even got the books that I read. Be right back. So I did go ahead and read more of Fragile Sanctuary last night. I finished yesterday on page 225 of this book. I told myself I was going to finish it today. I've just been out and I've just filmed a Come Book Shop With Me vlog, which will be out after this video, and I haven't read anything this morning, so I wanted to finish this book tonight, but I need to like do my hair and have a bath tonight, so I don't know if I will. I'm going to try to. I'm still really enjoying it. I just am very excited to like pick up the rest of the series as well, because I like the found family, I like the setting, and loads of side characters are really likeable. I'm not fully obsessed with the romance yet, but I do like the romance. I just feel like this is just such a quick, easy read, so I'm enjoying that one. So I thought I'd give a little bit of a roundup of the other books I read this week. So I did go ahead and read oh no! Wait, on Monday, did I finish Summer Romance? I think I did finish Summer Romance on Monday. That feels like ages ago. That was a week ago, but it feels like ages ago. But I finished Summer Romance. I gave this one a 3.75, I believe. I listened to it on Audible. It was just really quick and easy, like, listen. And I feel like this is, like, the perfect book, as I said, for this time of year. So if you like Emily Henry, I'd definitely say pick this one up. And then I did go ahead and read Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I gave this one a 3.5 star. It wasn't, like, the best book I ever read, but I got through it quickly. I just like the rom-com feels of this book. And Lynn Painter is just the queen of rom-coms. So I enjoyed this one. Not as good as Better Than Movies by her, but I feel like that book will always be my favourite book by Lynn Painter. I like the plot of them like objecting weddings. I just thought that was quite fun. I just feel like the ending, there was a 3rd act situation that just felt a bit like annoying for the storyline, and it was just kind of there for the drama, so didn't love that, but except from that I had a fun time with it. And then I did go ahead and read Sunrise on the Reaping, and I gave this one a 4 star. I just love being back in this world with these characters, even though you get introduced to so many new characters in this book, and then you get certain characters from the other series and you see them in here like a lot younger. And I just read this book and just wanted to give Haymitch a hug. Like, he's gone through shit. I just loved it. I've literally been watching so many TikTok videos of like people's theories for certain things, and like the things that I didn't pick up on when reading where I've like seen on TikTok people talk about it. I'm like, oh my god, like the writing of how Suzanne Collins write things to kind of entwine everything else. I feel like this was a perfect book, and it's one that I feel like was needed personally. I know sometimes authors kind of go back to series years later and you're like, I don't think this was needed. This is one of those books that I feel like was needed. I got through it so quickly, didn't get bored, loved the Hunger Games style to it again. So yeah, 4 stars. Those are the books that I read this week. I feel like I had quite a productive reading week. I really did enjoy this vlog. As always, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and I'll see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys!